Hey, what's up? What's up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. And tonight is actually really the nighttime, and we're gonna get into this DDG and Halle Bailey continuance of their custody battle. Now, a little while back, Halle posted, or she went to the courts and she requested for sole custody and to be able to take her baby with her overseas. And DDG is just now replying to her custody order with an emergency order where he provided some text messages as well. Now, this is going to be an unpopular opinion video. Before we even get started, listen up. If this is one of those videos where you clicked on and you feel as though, you're one-sided, you look at things, and if you're a woman and you just automatically take a woman's side, and it's you think that looking at things objectively is not being a girl's girl, and if you think that women cannot be held accountable, this is your trigger warning to exit the video, okay? Because if you continue to listen to the video, you're only going to trigger yourself and make yourself mad. Now, if you look at things objectively, or if you are not triggered, if you are a woman who doesn't have the ability to hold women accountable and you still want to just, for the heck of it, I'm just going to listen objectively, I'm going to listen, then, continue to watch the video. But let's get into it. So I've been busy all day long. Actually, I've been busy all week. Like, my week has been hectic all week long. And today, I'm like, oh my God, I really want to talk about this. But then I was when I looked at the messages and I looked at the sentiment around social media, I was like, this is probably one of those videos to where it's like, or topics I probably should pass on, because I know that I just do not have the popular take and people easily get triggered. And that'd be a lot of my problems too as a content creator. Like, I'll look at certain topics and I'd be like, man, I'm not even gonna waste my energy because people just gonna be pissed off, and it just is what it is. But I said, what the heck? Oh well, it is what it is. I can only be my authentic self, and hey. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Sorry for the long disclaimer. But even with the disclaimer, people are going to be triggered anyways. Now, let's get into it. So, like I said, Halle and DDG have been going, you said, Neek, there's a lot of thumping in the mic for those with headphones. Oh. Maybe if I back up from the table, the mic is on, because I'm bumping into it and stuff. All right, without me bumping into it, is it thumping or should I lower the audio? I don't know, but if it is, we're just going to get into it. Let me try to... She said I missed the disclaimer. Child, rewind the video. Anyways, if there's thumping, I apologize. Turn the volume down. I really don't know, but let's get into it. So, as I stated, I keep restarting. Like, girl, get to it. All right, so I've been seeing a lot of the sentiment online after DDG posted his version of events to basically defend himself and fight for custody of his child. Now, when Halle first posted her side of her custody battle and the claims that she made, where she said her tooth was chipped, and she said that he put hands on her, I went in on him on my video and told her, girl, do you, and that's that. Now that he has given his side, there's two sides of the story, and I have to look at both sides. Now, I've seen a lot of comments of people where they were like, oh, he's just posting these messages to humiliate her. He's just trying to embarrass her. He's just trying to da-da-da. I'm like, okay, do y'all not know how a custody battle go? And if you don't know, then that's good. Hopefully you have a great co-parenting relationship with your co-parent and you never had to experience going through a custody battle. But let's roll things back. So Halle is the one who filed for custody first, right? She is the one who went to the courts first. She's the one who said, hey, judge, I want to block DDG from being a parent. Now, DDG made videos where he said that he wasn't going to go to the court and he was cocky and he was like, if I go to the court, I already know that they going to side with me and woo-doo-woo-doo. But he was very cocky and he said he wasn't going to the court. But being that Halle is the one who went to court first and she slung him in the mud first, in a custody battle, you have to defend yourself. Now, I know that people like Halle and I know that people like the way she sings. She's soft-spoken. Oh my God, she was our princess in The Little Mermaid. This is a real life custody battle. They're celebrities. They have fame. She has more fame than him. But custody battles are not pretty. You fire off the cannon on your side and you make claims and you get it popped off on your side. He's going to fire off the cannon on his side and he's going to sling all the dirt that he has on you on his side. You provide all the discriminatory text messages that you have that you feel like make him look like a shitty parent. And and he is going to dig up all of the things in his text messages or anything that makes you look bad so that he can get his footing in the battle as well. Now, I don't know if people ignore the word battle in custody battle, but that's what it is. It's literally a battle of the parents trying to do a tug of war on what they want with the child. And then you have a judge that comes in the middle of the battle and says, ding, 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 you go to your side, you go to your side. Let me hear both of y'all out and let me figure out how we gonna do this. And in that tug of war, the judge decides where the baby is going to land. Is the baby going to land in the middle and y'all get 50-50? Are you competent? Are you incompetent? Are you abusive? Do you have things that need to be worked on? Do you need parenting classes? Do you need parenting classes? Do you need mental evaluations? Are either one of you guys capable of being of sound mind and body for the child? Okay? For those of you guys who don't understand, that is what it is. Now, I went through a custody battle, and my custody battle was one of the most stressful times of my life, okay? I talked to you guys briefly about my custody battle. I don't go into the particulars or the details or, anything like that, just because for the simple fact, me and my daughter's father, we're well above that. We are in a good space co-parenting. I don't even want to relive some of the stuff because we were duking it out in them court papers, okay? We were duking it out in them court papers. You had my baby look dirty. Excuse me, judge. When my baby came back, my baby looked dirty. Excuse me, judge. When my baby, custody battles are petty, okay? Not only are they stressful, not only is it a lot of mudslinging, but when you are battling a parent and you and the other parent cannot get on the same page, it gets petty. It gets petty. You looking through your text messages and you are looking for did she say my mama eyes is cockeyed and she'll kick my mom in the shin? Submit. Did he say that he'll trip me when I walk past him? Submit. It gets petty. in a custody battle. So I don't know what people anticipated or what they thought when they seen that she submitted her papers and she said that he put the pause on him. And if they just thought that he was gonna reply with nice, cute poems or something, but that's not realistic. That's not realistic at all. You start the war and he enters the war with his dirt. That's how it goes. I seen too many comments. Oh my God, he's just trying to humiliate her. Oh my God, I don't believe these text messages at all. These text messages are fake. She wouldn't say this. You don't know these people. Just like all of the men came and defended DDG and all of the men said DDG wouldn't put his hands on her. Now all of the women are coming over here. I don't believe that she would pop off and she would say stuff like that. You don't know these people and you don't know what they would do when it comes to a child being the common denominator and you feel like a MFer is playing on your top about your child, or you feel like this person done had me effed up and my child effed up. You don't know what a person would do. So I really be looking at some of these comments like, what reality are y'all living in? Now, let's zoom to the text messages, because also, too, I think that people, they look at the characters that people play in movies and they forget that they're humans at the end of the day. They forget that Halle popped off in videos before. Like, I told y'all, like, she done popped off before. So the fact that y'all surprised or y'all are not of the belief that she is capable of popping off is crazy. But let's get into the text messages and let's get into the new information that has come out in these court filings. Now, also, too, another thing that I'm not understanding is why neither side is requesting a seal. But I guess this is something that they want out there, okay? Because when you're not married, and in California, when you're two unmarried co-parents, you can request for your records to be sealed. So the fact that their records aren't sealed is weird. But hey, it is what it is. Maybe it's different in LA County. I don't live in LA County. I live outside of LA County, and I don't know. So anyways, let's get into it. So it blew up on the blogs today that DDG petitioned the court and he requested for sole custody. Halle petitioned that she wanted custody and DDG requested, pump your brakes, I want sole custody as well. Now, let's look through some of the items that he is, or let's look at some of the things that he's talking about and let's get to it. So this right here, hold on one second. All right, so this is the neighborhood talk right here, and it says, DDG reportedly wants sole custody of Halle, claims Halle isn't mentally healthy enough to take care of the 1-year-old. Also alleges that Halle tried to have a deletion, all right? And she tried to delete Halle behind his back, but she didn't go through with it. Now, I know I also seen a lot of comments of women saying that what's the big deal that she tried to get a deletion of the baby and, what's the big deal? She didn't go through with it. Just because, and let's be real, I'm of the belief of my body, my choice, right? It's my body. It's my decision if I'm going to have the baby or not, because at the end of the day, as a woman, I wholeheartedly, whenever, and this is my belief as a woman, any woman, if you decide to have a baby, you need to decide that you want that child and that you, if things go awry, can solely provide for that child if the father, upon you pushing the baby out, decides to back away. Okay? I'm of the belief that a woman should want the child for her. And so even though I have that belief, because I can look outside of me and look at something objectively, does not mean that that isn't something that can be hurtful to a man that wants a child. Now, if you get pregnant and you tell the guy, hey, we're about to have a baby, and then you sneak behind his back and then you setting up appointments to delete the baby and you don't tell him, that is stuff that can be hurtful to a man, and that's stuff that can make him look at you a particular type of way, and that can start causing rifts in certain situations. So it's not as simple as, oh, well, she didn't go through with it, so, oh, well, things like that. You have to look at it at both sides, okay? And as a woman, I'm able to look at it from both sides. I have to look at things objectively, and that's one of the things to where it's not a, oh, well, thing. But anyways, let's read what they have in their paragraph here. So it said, oh, shit. Oh, damn. I was over here Googling. I was Googling when was Halo born, because some of the messages were before he was born. So I was doing that research too. But hold on, I done accidentally clicked out of the darn tab. Hold on. Somebody from Love and Hip Hop passed away. Condolences to her. Khadijah. All right. All right. Is this it? Anyways, R.I.P. to what's her name? Khadijah from Love and Hip Hop. All right. So it says, neighbors, get into this. The legal drama between Halle Bailey and DDG continues. DDG recently filed an emergency motion to a judge begging him not to let Halle take their 1-year-old son, Halo, to Italy for her job due to Halle allegedly being mentally unhealthy. In the motion obtained by TMZ, DDG claims Halle poses an imminent emotional and psychological risk to Halo that he believes will be made worse if she's allowed to take Halo to Italy with her for weeks while she films a movie. DDG claims she isn't mentally healthy enough to take care of both herself and Halo while she's overseas. Throughout their relationship, DDG claims that Halle has exhibited questionable mental behavior on multiple occasions. Once he claims while she was pregnant, she took one of his pew-pews out the house without his permission, and he found her just standing outside holding it. Then he claims Halle actually tried to have an abortion without his knowledge, but she ultimately decided against it. Then DDG claims a few months after Halo was born, Halle was in a seemingly self-deletion state, allegedly texting him a series of alarming text messages threatening to delete herself and suggesting that their infant son, Halo, might also be harmed. DDG also provided proof that Halle is the one who is abusive and not him. After she claimed he caused her to chip her tooth during an altercation, DDG says that's the opposite of what happened, claiming Halle allegedly lunged at him from the back seat of the car and her momentum caused her to fall and hit the steering wheel. He claims he was harmed during the alleged attack as well, providing a picture of a finger injury. DDG is asking the judge for sole legal and physical custody of Halle. If this is not granted, he wants all custody exchanges handled by a third party. Now, I think that is best. Do I think a judge will grant him sole legal physical custody? No. They will not grant him sole physical legal custody if she provides that she's in therapy and she's mentally stable now, blah 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 blah. You know, I don't think that a judge will grant him sole custody, but hey, why not try? Another post, it says alleged threatening text messages between Halle and DDG, where she confronts him about cheating. Now, under this post is where I made a post and I said, you know, we'll go to what I said in a second, but let's get to these text messages because I can just say what I said. Now, March 21st, 2024, after Halle was born, he was about 3 months old. She wrote him and she said, "This is proof. You leave me hanging as a mother. You don't step up when I need you to. I'm begging you." And she has a bunch of misspelled words because she was on fire. On fire. I've been there where I don't even spell check. I'm just firing off text, firing off text, firing off text, firing off text. She was just firing off these texts because she was clearly upset. She was fuming in these messages. So in the messages, she said, "This is proof. You leave me hanging," and she put everything in all caps. "This is proof. You leave me hanging as a mother. You don't step up when I need you to. I'm begging you. I just found out you slept with Lala in Mexico. I'm going to myself tonight. My son will not be around for it. I hate you forever. You can have him and let her be his mom." All right. So he says, "I can't believe you're acting like this." All right. And then she says, "You put your Peter inside her in Mexico." All right. And so in these messages, you know, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, you know, I feel so bad for her. This is postpartum, blah, blah, blah." Now, I'm not going to say that postpartum could not have been a part of this, but when I read this, it sounded like it was manipulation. It sounded like it was her at home with a baby, he outside doing him, and she wanted to say things to guilt trip him, to make him feel sad. "You cheated on me, now I'm about to guilt trip you about it." It sounded like manipulation. It sounded like the same thing that men do when they feel like you have had enough of their BS. They feel like you about to leave them. And what do? "Oh, I'm going to delete myself." This, to me, again, I'm not saying that she could not be dealing with postpartum, but in the context of these messages, it sounded like manipulation. And just because she's a woman, I'm not going to just cape for her and be like, "Oh my God, poor her, postpartum, da 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 da." Now, if you write stuff like this and you make these claims and you text these claims, anything you can and anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. Now, just because she is dealing with postpartum does not mean that she cannot be deemed a danger. If you're writing stuff like this and you're threatening to harm yourself and you're threatening that you're going to delete yourself and things like that, if a judge looks at this, or a somebody who is a professional, these are not things that, oh, well, it's Halle, she's a sweet girl, he's just pushing her to her limit. No, these are things that can be used against you. So if you are a person, you have to realize, I have to love my baby more than I hate this N-word, more than I can't stand him, or more than what my hurt feels like. I have to love my baby more, because if I go off on him, and if I say these things and I type them and I press send, this can be used against me, okay? And we're not going to act like there are not women who are going through postpartum and they delete themselves, delete the baby, delete this, that. Oh, the daddy out here and he doing what he want to do and he's not helping me with the baby. And to make the dad suffer, we're going to act like women don't say, you know what? Delete, 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 delete. Are we gonna be real today? I mean, what are we doing? What come on now. These type of language is problematic. And if she is going through postpartum, which I went through postpartum, it was the most depressing time of my life. I'm over here, I'm with a baby, my hormones are all over the place. I was big as hell. I was big. And then once I started going through the courts and hiring lawyers and scraping up change to get me a lawyer and I'm getting these, cheap lawyers because I'm taking care of my baby and I'm trying to spend my extra money on a lawyer. And, I just started dropping weight. My mom is the one who she saw, like, my baby is a little bit, she is a little, like, this situation is really overwhelming my baby. My mom sat me down and she said, I'm concerned for you and I'm concerned for Leah, and you need to go to therapy. This is weighing on you. Guess what I did? I went to therapy because guess what? It was weighing on me. I went from big to this big. Okay? I was like a year in, like not even a year into me having my baby, I was a pencil sucked in, looking like a damn crackhead. I got so skinny because I was stressing out and I was worrying about my baby and it was a lot. Thank you so much for the super chat. Let me see what it says. Leela says, oh, thank you. She says, just because hit that like button. Yes. So what was the point that I was making? That just because you go through postpartum doesn't mean that there can't be a situation that is problematic for you and your child. Now, does that make DDG a saint? No. Was he a jacked up individual? Absolutely. Was he doing dirt, and was he also contributing to her stress and her mental health and her having a baby, and she got to be online and looking at this in Mexico with Lala, and she got to imagine Lala getting the big old donkey while she up late at night with the baby? Yes, that would contribute to the stress, contribute to all of that. You over here can't get no sleep. You got this baby probably hollering and all that. And this nigga living his best life in Mexico, getting his little winky wet all day and all night. She over there thinking he on mimosas and cocktails and all this time. And she over here up, can't sleep with the baby and all that. And yes, he absolutely contributed to that situation as well. So me holding her accountable or saying, listen, this is a problematic situation on both sides is not me not holding him accountable to, or not me feeling like she's the only person or whatever the case is to. They both have things that can, cause for a third party intervening. Okay? Period. So let's go to the next set of text. So the next set of texts take place in 2022, and this was before Halle was born. So she texts him, and she says, answer the effing phone. Answer the effing phone. I'm going to try one more time. If you don't answer, it's over forever. I'm not playing, Daryl. That's it. So between each text was a call. Call, text, call, text, call, text, call, text, call, text. All right? And this was even, I would say, probably before she had the baby in December. So what she would have had, got pregnant. Yeah, she probably just pregnant. Not enough for her to be crazy with the pregnancy yet. He said, I just want to be left alone, please. And then she says, I'm calling for help. She says, I have a knife. This was before the baby. Before she had the baby December 2023. These messages say 2022. Let me blow it up so that we could see. I don't know if y'all can see that well, but that say 2022. Let me see if I could blow it up any further. That say 22. And this say, I have a knife. Girl, you got a what? The fuck is going on here? And we know this is before she was pregnant. So we can't use the excuse of, oh, poor her, she got postpartum and let me see when if I have a baby in December. Hold on, let me look on Google. If a person has a full-term baby in December, what month did they get pregnant? So they say if a baby is born full term in December, the pregnancy likely began in April. A full term pregnancy lasts approximately 40 weeks. So these messages was March 10th, 2022. So if a full-term pregnancy means that you get pregnant in April, and these messages was in March, she was like a week pregnant. If we going by Google, she was 0 days pregnant, because they say you get pregnant in April, not get pregnant in March, because if they would have calculated that in that equation. 40 weeks from April. But anyway, y'all say she was already pregnant. That doesn't. Let me see. Are your hormones out of control at 1 month pregnant? Because I don't think Google didn't say. Google didn't say she would have already been pregnant. It says, I don't know. Let me see. Are your hormones out of control? Oh, 1 month into pregnancy. Wait, let me type this. Do you turn crazy 1 month into pregnancy? So it says that 1 month into pregnancy, you can have sudden mood swings, shifting rapidly between happiness, irritability, anxiety, and sadness, increased sensitivity, feeling more emotional about things that wouldn't normally affect you. All right. And they said that, I'm a mess with what I Google. But anyways, I don't know. I had to Google it because when I was 1 month pregnant, I felt normal. I remember. Um I remember once I found out I was pregnant, I was probably like 3 weeks. And then it wasn't until I was probably like, I want to say like, I hit maybe like close to the probably like 2 months something. Then um I started to feel like different nausea going into like, it was like later in my pregnancy though. Like, so I don't know. But anyways, everybody's different. Everybody's body's different. So that's why I had to Google it. So anyways, it says your hormones do peak at 1 month. But, 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 but that's still um OD. Okay? That's still OD. What do you mean I got the dates mixed up? What are y'all talking about? I said that these messages was before she was pregnant. That was the whole point of the Google. Y'all just now clicking on or what? The whole purpose that I started to Google, y'all said Neek. Let me put this on the screen so y'all know what I'm reading. That was the whole purpose of the Google. Golden Girl says, Neek, you got the dates mixed up. Those messages are from 2022. Halo was born in December 2023. That's what prompted the Google. That was the whole point of me Googling if you crazy when you 1 month pregnant. I know. I. Okay. Rewind what I said, guys. Oh, Leela says no, she got pregnant in March of 2023. Oh, y'all right. Child. Cause she would have had y'all right. My bad. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. She wasn't even 1 month pregnant. She wasn't even pregnant at all. Y'all right. Y'all right. I'm wrong. Okay. Cause y'all was mixing me up in the chat. Y'all was saying, no, she was 1 month pregnant. She was 1 month pregnant. I'm like, according to Google, she wasn't even pregnant. She would have, and I'm like, she would have got pregnant after that in April. But we still a whole, okay, so, child, you right, go to girl. Because she got pregnant March of 2023 and had the baby December 2023. These messages was a year before she even got pregnant, and she was manipulating him, talking about some, if you don't answer, I got the knife. Child, not you saying, am I having pregnancy brain? No. It's late in my defense. Hold on. In my defense, I've had a long day, okay? But, we all here now. We here. We on the same page. We're on the same page now. So, now that we're all on one accord, that makes it even worse. No? No. Do not start that rumor. I am not pregnant. So, wait a minute. Come on in, guys. We're all on the same page now. Okay. So, she started weaponizing stuff before she was even pregnant. That's even worse. And then she carried on the manipulation. I clocked that whole message about, oh, I'm going to delete myself. That was manipulative. But the fact that you were manipulative and you were using these type of things to try to guilt trip him even before you were pregnant at all. Y'all better stop. Hold on. Let me show the people what type of mess y'all starting in the comments. Because y'all at that point it's my bedtime. Okay? At that point, it's my bedtime. Because y'all are crazy. What somebody say? This feels like an attack on Halle. This is not. You go to the beginning of my video. Go to the beginning of my video where I gave a trigger warning. Okay? Now, although it's late, and although I'm winding down, I gave a trigger warning in the beginning of this video. But anyways, let's get back on track. So, all in all, when I was looking through this stuff online, and I was looking at the sentiment that people were having about it, and they were like blaming DDG for everything, I can't get behind that. Okay? I'm see, Samara, I'm about to block you. Don't block Samara, but I'm mentally blocking I'm mentally blocking Samara because now y'all playing. I'm blocking Samara. Mental note, block Samara mentally, not for real. Don't block her for real. But anyways, when I was looking at this, I just wasn't in agreement with it. I wasn't in agreement with it. I didn't feel like, no, I'm not gonna block you for real. But this just showed me that both are, see, Leela, now you taking it too far. Y'all taking it too far in the comments now. At first it was funny, now y'all taking it too far. Y'all is going too far with it. Okay? Child, if I was pregnant right now, listen. I would not. I would not. I would not be able to sustain being a YouTuber. I would be mentally jacked up, feeling like, girl, I am at this age. I feel like my daughter already out the house, child. I would not be able to do that. So stop. Anyways, let's get back to the story because y'all distracted me. Let's get back on track. So anyways, so then she says, I'm calling for help, but why don't care, do you? And then she says, okay, where it looks like she replied to something, and then did he delete his message or something? Because it says, I'm calling for help, but why don't care, do you? And then she said, oh, well, maybe it probably was one of those things where he didn't respond, and she like, oh, okay. And then he said, Halle is blurred out. It says Halle something or what? I don't know what it say at the bottom. It's blurred out. So then it went back to 2024. And these are messages in 2024. And let me make this smaller so we can see these messages. Hopefully if y'all seen them on the TV, y'all can see it. But anyways, it says, I just thought we'd do what I wanted to do today since it's Mother's Day. And then she says, but if you really want to go, you can. I'll just go home and pack. And then she says, hello. And then he says, if you don't come back here, I'm going to call the police. I don't want you to do something stupid. I'm going to give it 5 minutes. You have a son. I know you took my pew. And then he writes her and says, the pew has no safety. And then he says, put it down. That's not nothing to play with. And then it goes from May, and then it goes to messages from March 2024. And it says, you have ruined me and all my happiness. You hang up when I'm begging for help. You're the only help I used to have. And you're so focused on being famous and having money when you don't even see what's in front of you. How could you go to Mexico and be with someone else? How could you openly talk ish about me to all your family and all the women you want to sleep with? You want to ruin me. All right. So then the messages cut off. So those are the messages that he submitted. And like I said, I feel like they both are people who were toxic for each other. And I think that it's good that they separated. All of the messages seem like Halle does like this little guilt trip thing, and he's out here living his life, not caring, going to put his little woo-ha in Lala or whoever, Ruby, Lala, whoever he sticks his little winker in, and to try to get him to do what she wants him to do. It looks as though she threatens harm, which is not good on either side. If you get cheated on and your resort is let me threaten harm, I'm not about to say, oh, well, the guy, like, oh, it's the guy's fault. No. Both of y'all playing games. And both of y'all need to go y'all separate ways. And both of y'all need to separate, because this is not conducive for either one of y'all. This is not a situation that is a good situation to bring a child in on for either one of you guys. Okay? And so just because she's a woman, I'm not about to just cape for her. She is in these messages doing things that if this was a guy, I'd be reading him for filth with the manipulation. And if this was a guy writing these messages, I would be telling the girl, you better get a restraining order on him. That's a dangerous man, and you better run. These are things that I would say if a guy was getting into it with her, and then he's saying, oh, I got a knife, or, oh, I'm just holding the pew-pewer. I would think that the guy was a danger to the woman. And I would tell her to protect herself and to, all of these things. But because she's a woman, people feel as though, oh, it's postpartum, which it could be postpartum. It could be. Now, but she was already doing these manipulative tactics before the postpartum. So I'm not going to act like her behavior is something that's okay. I think that they both need to go into therapy, family therapy for the baby. They are public figures, and they have to figure out how to make this work for the baby, okay? It's not about what Halle wants and, oh, this is what I want, and it's not about what Daryl wants, aka DDG. It's about the baby. And when both of them figure out that this is about Halo and not about Halle's inflated ego or DDG's inflated ego, or about, oh, you cheated on me, so I'm going to make you suffer and I'm going to make it hard for you to get the baby. This ain't about neither one of y'all. This is about Halo. So y'all need to sit your butts down, because y'all both are on BS. And also, too, his picture of his finger, I don't know if he punched her in the mouth and then her tooth went into his finger. That's the excuse I would have gave her and been like, you know what I mean, to shift the thing back over to her side. But that's not what she claimed. So I can't make up a scenario that she did not say happened and he did not say happened. Okay? Because I seen a lot of people saying, oh, well, his finger looks like he hit her in the mouth and then her tooth cut him and blah, blah, blah. But that's not what neither one of them made that allegation. Well, I think he made something, he alluded to something like that. But if you see the comments of people on the blogs, they're making up scenarios that are not even introduced by either party. I'm like, are we gonna create a alternate universe of a situation? We can only go by what they are, we can his side, her side, and then find the truth in the middle of it, you know? But KS Nicole said he's showing a pattern. Let's not be slow. From 2020 till now, she's been that way before pregnancy. You said you started the message with he, and then you said she's been that way. I don't understand. Right. Kaylin says threatening to delete yourself and your child to guilt trip your partner is trash behavior. It is. Now, in the messages, he's alleging that she was threatening to delete herself and the baby. When I read the messages, I didn't read it to say that she was going to delete herself and the baby. The messages seem like she was basically saying that Halo is going to be away from him or away from the situation, and then she's going to delete herself. Like, oh, Halo's going to be far away. It sounded like she was, if I'm reading into it correctly, it sounded like she would give the baby to a stranger, and so that it'll be far away from him. That's just what it sounded like to me. It didn't sound like she was saying, I'm going to delete myself and I'm going to delete the baby. Let's re-look at it again one more time. It sounded like she was only trying to harm herself to me in the messages. But let's look again. Let's read it again. Because it is late. Okay. It is late, honey. All right. So she said, this is proof. You leave me hanging as a mother. You don't step up when I need you to. I'm begging you. I just found out you slept with Lala in Mexico. I'm going to delete myself tonight. My son will not be around for it. I hate you forever. I'm going to delete myself tonight. My son will not be around for it. I don't know. Now that I read it again, I'm like, I just found out you slept with Lala in Mexico. I'm going to delete myself. My son will not be around for it. I'm going to still go with, I think she just meant herself. I don't know. I think she meant herself. And maybe she's going to, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That's a toss up because, but and then too, also too, she has a village. So this also isn't a situation to where it's like, I don't have nobody to help me with my child. I'm here with my child alone, and I can't get no help, and I need you to help me, or else I have nowhere to turn. This is not a girl that don't have resources. This is not a girl that doesn't have a huge family. So this was a specific situation where it wasn't that she needed DDG to be there, or she needed, you know what I mean? It was her wanting him to, if I got to be here with the baby, you need to be with the baby too. And if I can't get you to be here with the baby because you want to be here with the baby, because you should be here with the baby because you had the baby, you had a part in making the baby too, then I'm going to put a situation into gear to where I'm going to make you feel guilty for not being here with the baby. Me just asking you to be here with the baby didn't work. So now let me guilt trip you to want to be here with the baby. Okay? Because let's be honest, she got several sisters. She got a brother. She got a mother. She got a father. She got resources to where she can get people to help her. This ain't no willy-nilly down the block to where people would not love. And obviously, when you're a mom, I'm not saying that you just so loose with your baby and you let anybody help. I'm just saying her close-knit, the people that we always see around her baby, she got help. So this was a situation where it was a manipulation and a situation to where she wanted him to do what she wanted him to do type thing. So I can't just blindly side with that because she is, a woman. I can't just blindly side with it. I think that this is a situation to where I hope the best for Halo in the end. Hopefully she gets her era where she levels up and, bosses up. Hopefully she gets her mental in order because this is a stressful time. Postpartum can affect you. It can be weighing on you. And then in my case, I drop weight. In her case, you had this baby. Now you gaining more weight than you ever have. She went to the Met Gala. Everybody's calling her fat. So then she's going through the situation with her baby daddy. My baby daddy out getting his winker wet and he out here doing this. So now I'm finna go out and I'm finna make him jealous and make him think I'm with Brent Fayez or whatever. And I'm about to, do my thing. And so then she try to stunt on the gram in her little bathing suit. And everybody in the blogs calling her fat. Everybody in the blogs, oh my God, look at how much weight she got. So then y'all done bullied the girl, acting like she ain't just had no baby. Everybody talking about, oh my God, her weight, to where she had to then make a video talking about, I'm not feeling myself. I've gained this weight, blah, 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 blah. After people was making her feel insecure. So then you got that. Your body's not where you want it to be. You're not secure. Then you got a man that's cheating on you or whatever. So then you insecure about that. Then you got the baby. And then, you wanted to go your way with that. It's a lot going on. So I just, hope that she gets into therapy if she isn't already. I would assume and hope that she is. And I would hope that her and DDG can go into family therapy because it sounds like it's toxicity on both ends. All right? It sounds like toxicity on both ends, not just his end, her end too. They both are very toxic. Absolutely. 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 You threatening him and talking about you got a knife. Toxicity. Absolutely. So, that's that on that. I just wanted to do a video and I'm like, the girls are going to be mad at me because this ain't a girl video. I have to keep it real and I have to say how I feel. So, I'm like, they're not going to, I'm unsubscribing, a lot of people were, I'm unsubscribed. I just felt that in my bones, like, I'm going to hear a lot of I'm unsubscribing, but I just got to be real. I'm a mom first before anything, okay? Like, mom is, how you be like, is being married her whole identity? Is being mom her identity? Like, I feel like at this point, mom is my identity, okay? And I'm a mom first. So I look at these things through a mother's lens and that crap is crazy on both ends. Okay? Absolutely not. Absolutely not about to. You out there cheating. See, and this is why, I've always, it's not good to be I'm gonna get my lick back type of person. Okay? Because when you get your lick back, it ain't really the lick you want at the end of the day, because you really want this dude to act right. But I'm a get my lick back type. I'm not about to get no knife. You doing what? You're where? If I know I ain't gonna leave, I'm definitely gonna get my lick back though. Which is not is again, I'm not saying this is a good thing or whatever, but I don't do the whole self-harm manipulation stuff. Okay? You know, I don't do that kind of stuff. So you y'all cutting up. Y'all cutting up in the chat talking about the chrome heart braids and the Stefan Diggs and all of that. But let me stop, because I'm not even let me stop though, because that's how I used to be. Those are my old ways. I'm more of a these days I'm really more of a cut you off and say F you forever type. My tolerance now for BS is very, very low. Okay? So so I'm even joking with that, because that's how I used to be. Okay? That's definitely how I used to be. Okay? But my tolerance is too low for that now. My tolerance for BS is thin. It is very, 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 very thin. Okay. Somebody said there's other Neek, was the braid thing cool? What braid thing? You talking about the chrome heart braids? What are you talking about? Are you talking about was it cool for Stefan Diggs to copy Cardi B's son's hairstyle? Is that what you're asking me? I don't know. I don't see me, like, when it comes to like dealing with other parties. How do I feel about that? I feel like Offset is corny. However, when it comes to my child, I don't know. I don't like people trying to be funny or take funny jabs when it comes to kids. So I don't know, because if I felt like my daughter's dad, if you know what I mean, like if somebody was purposely trying to do hairstyles of my daughter and it didn't feel like, oh, I just like that hairstyle, and it felt like you trying to be on some petty stuff, that would boil my blood. I'm sorry. I don't know. I just don't play when it comes to kids. So, do I think it was cool? No. I don't know. I think it was petty, and I think that he was trying to be petty, and I think that they probably already had words behind the scenes, and I feel like, you know how behind the scenes stuff go on, and you know what I mean? Offset seemed like the type to where he feel like Cardi, like he could, like I could do it, but you can't. They don't ever like when you pull a you on you type of thing. And I feel like it was probably some funk behind the scenes, and to be petty because Offset probably isn't getting the baby as much as he probably should, and he's around Cardi B, and Cardi B's probably pillow talking, telling a situation like, oh, he not even coming getting the kids. Oh, I'm in New York. He don't want to come to New York, and blah 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 blah, and he don't want to go to my mama house, and he want to come to my house, and da 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 da, and she pillow talking. They laid up after they done got done hunching, and she telling him all Offset business and all of that. I feel like it probably was some words behind the scenes, and I feel like Offset probably said something to him. You better not have that N word around my child, or something like that. And then I don't even think Cardi probably told him to do it. I feel like he probably just being petty. did it on some being funny type stuff. But when it comes to kids, I just feel like don't bring the kids into it type thing. I don't play. When it comes to my baby, don't play with my baby. Don't play with my baby. Don't like no. Don't trying to get at me through my child. Don't play with me. I don't know. But I don't know. But the internet thinks it's funny. The internet thinks that he's crashing out, and I mean, I also do agree with some of the people who had the sentiment of, had you not cheated on her and had you treated her right, you'd be there with your child, and another end wouldn't be doing it. But at the same time, it's still petty. So there's that. Do he give his other baby mamas the same energy? No. I don't think he married the other baby mamas either. So there's that too. Like, they were married, right? Him and Offset. I mean, Cardi B and Offset were married. So I don't think that he gives the other baby mamas that energy, because ninjas feel like when you sign that paper and you take their name, they feel a sense of ownership over you. So I think that Offset feels a sense of ownership over her. He didn't marry the other baby mamas. So I don't think that he would give the other baby mamas the same energy, because and also I don't think that he invested into properties and this, that with them either. So he feels like he has a sense of ownership over her and everything like that. So yeah, so no, I don't think he would invest the same amount of energy into the baby mamas, because he didn't marry him. So, there's that. Somebody said, and she's rich. Cardi was tripping on choosing him. If you have to force a man not to be a deadbeat to his kids, he already has. That's a red flag. Yeah, that's definitely a red flag. And I don't really know much about Stefon Diggs, but a lot of people say that he's no different than Offset. Y'all let me know in the comments, is that true? Because a lot of people are saying, like, she's going around with Stefon Diggs and she's trying to parade him around, and people were saying that he's no different, but I don't really know nothing about him. I don't know nothing about him. All I know is once he started dating Cardi B, then I started hearing his name. And then I seen a video where, like, he was super young, and then, like, everybody in the locker room, they were saying, like, which teammate would you not want your sister to date? And then everybody said his name. So that's the only thing. And then I seen comments of people saying that, he's worse for her. He's the same. Somebody had created a meme, and they were like, if you don't understand that Stefon Diggs and Offset is the same person, then you're not ready for the conversation or something. I don't know. So there's a lot of discourse about how Stefon Diggs is equivalent to Offset, how he is worse than Offset. He already had a controversy like last week of girls on the boat, and he was handing them something, and all the blogs, I didn't even care to look for the real video, because I'm like, what did he pass her? Some blogs, it looked like he passed her the white powder, and then some blogs, it looked like he may have been passing her a J. I don't even know what he passed her. And then other people say Cardi's on the boat with them. I don't know. It's a lot going on. But the question was how I felt about the hairstyle. How do y'all feel about the hairstyle? Do you guys feel like Cardi and Stefon Diggs was out of line for the hairstyle? Or do you feel like, oh, well, too bad, so sad, you cheated on her, and now she with a new end, and if you would have did right by her, then, how do you guys feel about it? Because Rich Bay says, I don't care. I know that's right. I know that's right. Y'all funny. Well, um, yeah, it was definitely looking like some powder stuff. And y'all know, I was the day that Diddy, I was in the courthouse the day that I was in the courthouse for the Diddy trial, the day that one of the officers that did a raid on his Star Island home in Miami, and the pink stuff they said was ketamine and MDMA for Diddy. Now I don't know what that was with Stefan, but like I said, some blogs it looked like a powdery thing, and y'all saying it was pink. I don't know. I didn't go see the unredacted video, but child, when the stuff that Diddy had that looked like that, they said it was ketamine and MDMA. Y'all too rich for me with all the stuff that y'all be doing, honey. I don't know. I don't know what, like, huh? Powdery stuff? No, what? Shoot. And some of the people that be covering for the Diddy trial, I'll be like, child, never mind. Let me shut up. I just don't understand, but hey. Anyway, that's all for this video. Whew, it's a lot going on outside the Diddy trial. But anyways, yeah. And then I was thinking about if I should go back out there or not, but I really don't know. I don't know. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on out there, and I don't know. I be looking at the streams and I just be like, I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot happening out there. What y'all think? Do y'all think I should go back to New York to cover the Diddy trial? Let me know. Let me know. I feel like the week that I was out there, by the time my body adjusted to the time difference and me getting adjusted to like running off low fumes, being at the court all day, waking up super early, and and I finally got like a kind of like a groove to like actually deliver good content. It was time for me to come back home. Y'all said no. Wait, somebody said get some security. Somebody said it's a hot mess. Mighty said let's go for the verdict. Yeah, you know what? I think that's probably I think that's probably a good idea. I think because at first I'm like, you know what? I want to go back to be there for next week, and then try to like go for next week. But honestly, I think that's probably a good. I think that's probably a good a good time to go back. There we go. Because it's a lot going on outside the courtroom. Yeah, and it's also unfortunate too. I can't stand when people are doing really good on their channels and people feel like, okay, instead of me putting in hard work, instead of me building up my channel, instead of me doing commentary, instead of me writing my notes and delivering what, they're saying, people want to just say, you know what? You got clout. I'm going to go after you. And I've been seeing videos of people going after Armand. I've been seeing videos people going after Tisa. I seen a grown man make a video say that he wanted to smack Tisa, and I'm just like, why? Like, if you don't like her commentary or you don't like what she's saying, don't watch. If you don't like Armand's opinion, you don't like his commentary, don't watch. But it's not about people like, I don't even think that it's to the point to where people are not agreeing with their comment. I mean, I feel like people do disagree or maybe not. I don't know. But I think that on top of it, I think people feel as though like, okay, you got clout, you got clout. Let me go after you. Let me go after you. No, wait, which one? Which one do I want to go after first before you know what I mean? I don't know. It's given that to where it's just like, it's getting spooky. It's getting spooky out here. And then it's like the beauty of multiple YouTubers being out there is because everybody should be giving their POV. And that's the beauty of it. If you look on YouTube and you're like, I don't like that content creator's point of view, and I think this person is biased, and you look at this content creator and they're looking at the Diddy trial and you're like, oh my God, they're so biased, I don't like their POV. The beauty of YouTube is you can go into the court. It's a public court. They letting even the girl that got ejected out the court back in the court, so anybody can go to the court, write your notes, write your conclusion, turn on your camera, and you don't even have to diss other content creators. People just want to get different point of views of the Diddy trial, and all you got to do is write your notes, and you don't have to take shots at this person, that person. This is what I see. This is my point of view. This is what I think. That's what it's supposed to be about. And it's so many people looking for information of the Diddy trial. People are looking, who shares my POV? There's people who feel like, oh my God, the women deserved it. Even though Cassie is on camera getting beat and stumped, there are people who feel like, oh, she wanted it. And that there is YouTubers that have that POV. Then there are people who are looking at the trial and they think, oh, he's a monster, he's evil, he did, like, oh, you know, this, and oh, everybody's a victim, and everybody is telling, you know, everybody has an experience, and everybody, you know, and they believe everybody that hits the stand. Now, when Dawn got on the stand, she looked a mess to me. But, and I was hopeful for Dawn. I'm like, yeah, Dawn, I flew all the way there to see Dawn's testimony because I thought that she was going to stick it to Diddy. And when I got there, I was disappointed because it was a mess. But, you know, you have people who, no matter what, no, you know, this person, you know, there's excuses for everything. So, you know, there's that POV. Then there's the POV of, you know, a person who's like weighing things, balancing things. And there's YouTubers who are all the way pro Diddy. And then there's people that's all the way not pro Diddy. And then there's people that, you know, there's lawyers, there's legal analysts, there's news anchor. Like, if there's every single point of view that you can have, to where you don't have to even acknowledge or pay attention to or see what other people are doing, because you offer something to the space and there are people who are looking for your point of view. Someone says, love Unique, but Megan, eventually she's gonna want to take another black man seriously. Megan? Who talking about Megan? What y'all talking about in the chat, child? But anyways, ooh, not Samara. Child, Samara is, child, not Samara, girl. Samara is a mess, honey. Samara is a mess. Anyway, on that note, child. On that note, child, we gonna end it because Samara, let me let you get to your appointment, okay? Cause I'm appointmentless, and I'm not gonna hate on a sister. I know you like, listen, I don't want to miss the tea, but I got an appointment to tend to. We gonna end right there because Samara say, listen, Neek, let's wrap this up. Y'all are funny. But yeah, no, for real. I have gone longer on this stream than I intended to. I was not expecting to talk about Halle this long. But yeah, I missed y'all. It seemed like it's been a couple days since I did a live. Samara is funny, honey. Okay. Stevie Ray says Samara better wrap it up herself. I know that's right. Ooh, not somebody telling Samara nobody holding her hostage, child. Y'all is funny. But anyways, yeah, y'all let me know. I'll talk to y'all later. Samara said she don't want to miss out on the fun. Tell him to step it up because an appointment wouldn't be waiting if it was given that pressure. Okay? And speaking of pressure, this is the last thing I'm going to say before I go. Am I the only one who gets annoyed with Kevin Gates every time he talks about hanky panky and he always like, I'm dropping big dog donkey, and he be like, I'm dropping big old like he just king of the Amazon, and I'm just like, you know, the thought when I thought about pressure and appointments and this and that and this and that, I don't know why Kevin Gates dropped in my mind, but why do he be acting like we didn't see the video? But then it made me think, guys really be thinking that it's big pressure just because, like, y'all don't look and be like, this Magnum is a little loose. You know what I mean? Y'all don't like go to the store and buy a Magnum and then put it on and be like, this kind of is not like secure here. It's kind of loose. In y'all mind, it still gives because I went to the store and I purchased a Magnum and I, like, child, it's my bedtime. It's my bedtime. It's my bedtime. It's my bedtime. You said what video? Of Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates got a video. It was on Twitter, all over Twitter. Okay? It was all over Twitter, and it wasn't giving what he be talking about. Okay? It wasn't giving none of that to me. But videos lie. Maybe it subtracted 10 pounds. I don't know. I gotta go. It's my bedtime. Talk to you guys later. Bye. But yeah,